Have you ever looked at someone at work and thought, how did they get promoted? Because you know the truth. They are not the smartest person there. They are not the hardest worker. They might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. They might not even be the most skilled. And yet somehow people trust them more. This happens all the time. And the reason is uncomfortable. Because people don't actually judge your ability, they judge the things that look like ability. Think about it. You meet someone for the first time, and within seconds, your brain starts making decisions. Are they confident? Do they know what they are talking about? Do they seem reliable? But the strange thing is, your brain is not measuring the truth, it's making a prediction. Psychologists call this heuristic. Basically, your brain uses shortcuts because it doesn't have time to deeply analyze everyone you meet. And this is where smart people often lose. Because a lot of intelligent people believe something that sounds logical. If I do great work, people will notice, but they won't always. Your work doesn't walk into a room and explain itself. Your results don't have a voice. People only know what they can see. Now, imagine two employees. One person quietly solves difficult problems. They are brilliant, but they stay silent. They assume their work speaks for itself. And then there's another person. They do good work, but they communicate clearly. They explain their ideas. They talk about the problems they solved. They make their contribution visible. Now you tell me, who seems more valuable? Usually the second person. Not because they are better, but because the brain has more evidence. This is called perceived competence. It is the difference between being capable and being recognized as capable. And then this is where the halo effect comes in. The halo effect is when one positive quality changes how we see everything else about someone. If someone speaks confidently, we suddenly assume they are intelligent. If someone stays calm under pressure, we suddenly assume they are a leader. If someone communicates clearly, we suddenly assume they understand things deeply. But confidence is not competence. A confident person can be wrong. A quiet person can be brilliant. The problem is the human brain often trusts the signal before it checks the facts. This is why communication matters so much. A lot of smart people actually hurt themselves because they try to prove they are smart. They make things complicated, they use too many words, they explain every possible detail, but real understanding creates simplicity. The person who truly understands something can usually explain it clearly. The person who doesn't understand often hides behind complexity. So the goal is not to pretend to be competent. That is where people go wrong. The goal is to become competent and then learn how to make that competence visible. And you can do that by speaking clearly, explaining your thinking, showing your results. Let people see the value you create, because the world is not a perfect scoreboard where everyone gets rewarded based only on ability. People reward what they notice. And sometimes the biggest difference between the person who gets overlooked and the person who gets ahead is not talent, it's that one person who learned how to make their talent impossible to ignore.